My name is Kellen Richards, and my profession is costume designer and stylist, mom. When I was on the Ellen show, like we would get, the writers would come to us and they would say like, oh, we want to do these bits and these characters. And then I would use ideas that I have of like who I think those characters should be. So then you bring them to life. And then it's incredible to see whether, an actor all of a sudden in a costume and hair and makeup transform into a completely different person, and watching that come to life, and to be able to be a part of that, to be able to be a part of creating this character or person, and watching it, come to life is a fun experience. It's very different on many different formats, whether you're doing a commercial or a feature, or in our world we were doing our daytime talk show, and so I think that it's a little bit of a different process but very similar, where and it also applies to even just being a stylist for red carpet. It's about getting as much information in as possible. So whether for example, you're styling a celebrity, you're getting information from a publicist or from the celebrity personally on what they like, how they feel good. Because I think it's really important that, that you're getting all your homework done before. So like I do tons of research, even if it's like whether it's red carpet, I research how that person dresses in their real life to kind of get an idea of who they are. So then when I'm presenting ideas, it doesn't feel like very off base. Or if it's a director, what their director style is, and like, do my homework on that. If it's a character we're building, I'll look at a bunch of other characters that are similar to that. So the bottom line for all of my projects is I do all my homework before I come up with ideas, to kind of like get a sense of, direction, the nuances of the character. I think it's a very important part of what we do. And then from there, I'll do either illustrations, I'll have illustrations made, or we'll do storyboards to kind of give the person receiving the information an idea of where my thought train is going, and getting across like the overall. Sorry.
No.
It's so funny. Like in real life, I can talk all day, but like when I'm on camera, I'm literally like a deer in headlights.
Like a constant communication back and forth.
Oh, it's constantly, because it's like if you're doing a commercial, for example, you're getting ideas from directors and agencies, and if you're doing like a feature, you're getting ideas from directors, you're getting ideas from actors, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, so it's also about navigating through that and making sure people are heard, but also that it doesn't become, so convoluted that you don't have, it's muddled in the end of the day, like the result, So it's a balance of many different things. So, I mean, I've been on photo shoots where I haven't been given very critical information that is important for the actor, whether like it's very specific, like wardrobe requirements for either religious bases or comfort bases, and you're no one gave you those very important notes, and all of a sudden you're on a photo shoot and the client doesn't want to wear anything, and you feel like you failed as a stylist because you're not able to even do your job, So I think that to me, I always over ask questions, and I think that I'm probably annoys an incredible amount of people. I probably annoy every person I contact with, but to me, I'd rather have more information than not enough, because there's even just the smallest details of like, does the person have pierced ears? Like, you know, or the person doesn't wear high heels, or, you know, I mean, that's more for obviously in the styling world. And then, you know, and in terms of like, you know, costuming, there could be like very specific details where like, you know, the director only likes specific color palettes or fabrics, or, you know, so I think to me, it's very important that you ask questions and not be afraid to ask questions. And this also will loop back to future stylists, like in future, you know, my notes to people. It's like, you know, don't be afraid to ask a question. And there's gonna be people that look at you like you're stupid, you know, but the thing is, it's like you need to have as much information as possible so that you can do the best job for them, you know, and get the results that they want. Listen, my mom was a huge influence on me in terms of my work ethic because she was a producer and she taught me the importance of hard work but I'm such a strong believer in it takes a village to raise children, it takes a village to be a better person, and I feel that there's so many people that have impacted my life that have made me better at my skill, whether it was, you know, working with Ellen for so many years, the executive producers on our show, working with directors over the years on different projects, and all of these people have, down to even makeup artists that and DPs and learning about lighting, and you know, I think that, you know, I like to take as much information in as possible because I always feel like knowledge is truly key, and just learning so many parts of everyone else around me as well to make me better at my craft. Establish a healthy work environment. I think that is so key. Like, you know, I always take pride in, you know, the team that I've worked with for so many years. Like I'm still friends with all of them. We still talk all the time. And these are people that, you know, have moved on to other projects. And I think it's you know, work can be stressful already, but to have like a stress bubble within a stress world, I don't think is healthy. I think it's like sometimes you have to have a safe haven where you guys have a healthy work environment, because that way it's almost like you're like superheroes and you're able to battle the stress together as a team. God, I mean, listen, I love crazy comedic characters. Like if I could do a movie like Nacho Libre or Blades of Glory, like I would be in heaven. Like it's just where, like, you know, you're just creating these incredibly interesting comedic characters. Like that's like a dream job for me. And I've worked on 3 projects that I've like hold near and dear to my heart. Like I definitely feel that like when Ellen hosted the Oscars like the second time was an absolute incredible experience. Like just, you know, doing the Oscars in general is an incredible experience because it's like, it's live, you feel the energy of the room, you know, anything can go wrong and you have to be prepared for everything. And I just feel that like it was just one of my ultimate experiences. And of course, having fun at the Governor's Ball afterwards is the best way to finish the night. And then I've worked with incredible directors over my years, but like definitely like there's one particular director I love working with. His name is Brian Buckley, and he just is like, his projects are always just out the box and always interesting and push you to think outside the box. And I always just love working with him because it's like one of those challenges that, you know, you're just like, after you finish the project, you're like, yeah, I made that, you know, I did that, you know, you pat yourself on the back because it's just, you know, they're fun and creative. And then lastly, like, you know, another, I think, just a personal project for me was when Ellen and Portia got married, and just to be a part of that process, because it was just, you know, it was beyond just the TV and beyond the red carpet. These are like 2 people that are having a very personal moment, and you are able to be a part of it. And it was also just, you know, the whole journey of that was incredible, of just watching, you know, the ladies come up with ideas of like what they wanted to do, and then working with Zach Posen, who was this incredible designer, and really having him take such pride and care, and not only just Portia's beautiful gown, but also like, what is Ellen wearing? Because that was always a thing for me that used to bum me out, was that, like, you know, especially on the red carpet, is like people always like, you know, they look at the women in the gowns and they look at the, you know, the men in the tuxedos, and then Ellen's just kind of like in this middle place, and they don't think that Ellen takes as much thought and idea, and that we work with designers and everything's custom made, and it's the same process that Ellen goes through, that a woman goes through with the gown. And it's like, just because she's in a suit, like, oh, you know, it's like they think it's like an afterthought, and that used to just really upset me, because I feel like, you know, like with Ellen's outfit when she got married, like Zach made sure like he hand dyed like all the silk pieces in her vest that matched Portia's gown, and there was so much detail involved in Ellen's outfit that was just as beautiful as Portia's wedding dress. And I think that, you know, that to see that whole process was absolutely incredible. I think the most important thing that I recommend to rising stars in this costuming, styling world is do your homework. Research is everything. Make sure that you really know all your background details in order to do a proper presentation on anything. I think that creating incredible relationships with your vendors is so key, because, you know, these are relationships that can be lifelong relationships. Like, there's some stores that I've worked with for 20 years that I still work with, that I still have wonderful relationships with. And, you know, in the end of the day, you cannot do your job without those relationships. So it's very important to always conduct yourself in a respectable manner, to respect them, to hear them, to, you know, you have to understand that if there's a tailor that's incredible, that's their craft. So, you know, it's like they're important, and they need to be respected in an equal way that you do your job. I think that the other thing that is really important is to know that, you know, you have to, knowledge is key. You have to get as much experience as possible. And sometimes, you know, people think that they style 5 people and that they're superstar stylists, but maybe you need to assist a stylist that's been around for a long time, because they're going to teach you things that you may not have known, like tools that you need to do a quick fix on a set because something went awry, or, you know, or learning the ropes of like how to do proper returns. And there's just so many nuances to this job that is something that actually needs to be learned on site. My one career wish is that, you know, I continue doing the craft that I love, that makes me happy, that at the end of the day, I can laugh and be like thinking about the funny moments I had that moment and get paid a lot of money for it.